Hey, I'm Kev Kemis. Welcome back to MotoGP 19 and the final 500cc hero. I'm going to miss these 500cc bikes. These have been, on the whole, pretty easy challenges. I've probably made them look a bit more difficult than they are because I'm not very good, but I've kind of, especially the Honda, really grown. And what was it, the Aprilia, or what was it, McCoy's bike? Oh, the Yamaha, which I loved, and no Aprilia as well from Williams. But we end on the Honda as doing Unsurpassed in qualifying around Mugello in clear conditions back in May 1992. Seems to be the year of Mick Doohan's definitive arrival. Went up to the World Championship the year before by just 9 points. The Australian wins the first 4 Grand Prix, in which he also takes 3 pole positions. Despite this run, Kevin Swanson here, Suzuki and Ray Rainey on his Yamaha turn up at Mugello to make life difficult for him. But the rider posts the best time in the second free practice and qualifying to improve by 7.5 tenths of a second, gaining over a second on his pursuers. This is the 4th of 6 consecutive poles, officially declaring the birth of a star. As we got a beat of time of 53 flat. As here we go then. Back in time almost 27 or just over 27 years. So Mick Doohan was flying towards what looked like a first world title. And the gravel trap as well. Hey Mitch the man. So we go, practice. Well, breaking point for the first gun is so difficult to get right, especially on these older machines where the braking is so much longer, so much more trail braking. Like I'm braking virtually up to the apex with the rear brake as well as the front. So it's probably going to take a few goes, but to give us time to talk about Mick Doohan, who I've talked about before. Maybe there's someone who's an all-time great, no doubt. And there's no doubt very much appreciated as well. I'm not sure it feels like it. Like being someone who came in MotoGP after his era. I mean, grew up with Rossi mania. We've got Marquez mania at the moment. The 90s was doing mania, and all it feels like it's forgotten. Like it's so long ago. But this is a rider, the Aussie, who's up there with the all-time greats in all records. 5 consecutive World Championships. Only Rossi and Agostini can boast the same or more. And Marquez could join him if he wins next year with 5 alongside Rossi. Then a guy who's second in poles and all-time with 58. 4 behind Marquez, who grabbed that record recently. I believe it was this season. Marquez, who grabbed his record of most Honda wins in the top class of 54. Now Marquez has 56. He's up to 3rd all-time as well with MotoGP wins. Head of Doohan, who's 4th all-time. Doohan's 4th all-time with fastest laps behind Marquez, Rossi and Agostini. And his 5 World Championships is also, I believe, 3rd all-time at the top class, or 4th all-time actually now, behind Marquez, Rossi and Agostini. You're seeing a pattern here. Oh, he's unbelievable, the records that Doohan has. So we already made a Horlicks of this up. As I say, it's going to take me a few laps. And those are all-time great records. As I said, top 5 in almost every winningest, poledest, fastest lappist category. Every category that you want. There's a rider, World Championship, wins. He's up there. So yeah, as I said, I'm not sure what it is about the possession of Doohan. Maybe because he was a bit hard-headed and had clashes with the likes of his teammate Greville. in the late 90s at Honda. Maybe because he has done it in just one manufacturer. Well, Marquez has done it just on Honda, but Rossi's done it on Honda and Yamaha. I could see it on MV Augusta, didn't he, most of the time? Augusta. Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe someone who's a bit older can enlighten me. Maybe he is perceived really good, but it's just not really noticed because I'm part of the younger generation. As we're almost there for bronze. God, we've got to find 3 seconds about. We're not finding it here, but there's a couple of drivers and riders I can think of in that same category of kind of, don't want to say forgotten champions, but maybe not celebrated champions as they should be. Like Nelson Piquet in F1, like 3 titles in the 80s. The first turbo title in 81 with that BMW powered Brabham. And then he got his second title in 83, beating out Prost. When really Prost and Renault should have won that, and that led to their split and Prost going to McLaren, and the rest is history. Honestly, that's probably the best thing for Alain Prost's career, not winning that title in 83, and probably the worst thing for Renault's F1 adventures not to win that title, because they had Warwick and Tombe in 84 and 85, and despite podiums, should have won races, they didn't win a race again and quickly departed F1 as a manufacturer, but he'd come back as an engine manufacturer. And then eventually came back as a proper manufacturer in the early thousands. But yeah, and then Piquet won with Williams in 87. After an infamous battle with Nigel Mansell for that title, which got nasty. And again, that's maybe why Piquet's not really celebrated as the champion nowadays. First of all, he's overshadowed by Ayrton Senna, who came around in his shadow, but quickly put him in his shadow. And that's how that Piquet perhaps wasn't the biggest fan of him from what I've read and seen from back then. Maybe a bit jealous. And yeah, he doesn't have the best reputation. Like, as a joker, sometimes took it too far, like when he made fun of Nigel Mansell's family in the title battle of 87. So him and Mansell not on the best of terms. But also, that's why I finished in like 3rd in the championship in 1990. I'll win a couple of races. Don't know, just didn't have that same. That's not celebrated at all. Doing it with Benetton. As yeah, we got bronze, we're not very good. And be fair, he won those 2 races in 1990 because Nigel Mansell had a brain fade on the final lap in Canada. It's Williams, and then Senna and Prost clash. Of course, at Suzuka, leading to him, you know, his buddy Roberto Moreno for Moreno's only podium in F1. For Benetton 1-2. And then he signed out of F1 with a young Michael Schumacher alongside him in 91. But yeah, it just seems Piquet just not celebrated as the great driver as he was at Brabham, especially, and in Williams. Maybe because at Brabham as well, Bernie mostly like putting pay drivers alongside him, like Hector Rabat, Ricardo Zunino. Again, 1881. And they did eventually put good drivers alongside him. I mean, Ricardo Patrese wasn't too bad. So yeah, I actually want to try and push. I wonder if I had to go down the first for a lot of these corners. I'll just keep it in second. So we've got to make up 3 seconds to get this last one. As I was saying, these are not hard challenges, and then suddenly, boom! The last one's pretty hard. But then for some reason, Mugello's really hard in MotoGP 19. I'm not sure what they've done. Like, they just changed the timings to make it incredibly difficult. This is going to be a 56. Mid 56 as well. That's not good. So yeah, that's one draw that pops up to my mind immediately when thinking about underappreciated champions, maybe, or drivers or riders. Maybe a bit like Doohan. And again, it is part of my mission this off-season to get through. Because on the video pass, I don't have the full races most of the time, but they do have the championship recap. Or race recap. So hopefully do that on the video pass. MotoGP this past off-season, going back to the 90s and early thousands. Because again, I didn't watch till 2003. So I've got lots of history to catch up on. It's the same with kart and IndyCar. It's all much better that. At least making up half the gap. This could be close to silver. Could be close to the gold, should I say, not bronze. I hope it's not close to bronze. Let's ignore I messed up the final corner, which I kind of did. Oh, this is going to be close. I'm tucking. No, we've missed it. Half a second. So I hope I can do that in this off-season. Because the only championship I'm really good at with my history, because I grew up with it, reading books mostly on it, is F1. But I do love almost every form of motor racing, so lots to read up on this off season. Oh, that's better into the first corner. Oh, you're a bit too quick. Bit wide. Nice on the power. God, I wish I had the accurate to your best time overall, because saying it's red in the first sector means nothing. Because that's just red to a ghost time. Which of course we're much quicker then. Oh man, this Mugello circuit is brilliant. Even if these 500cc machines have been very tricky. You'd have thought with chicane to be a bit... Wouldn't like it as much, but... Mugello's magnificent in anything. One of the best circuits in the world. Especially for bike racing. Nice, survived the 5-speed chicane. Gonna power. Yeah. This is very close. It's going to be a quicker time, but is it quick enough? Yes! By a 10th. Nice. So that's the 500cc heroes done. We've done all 14. challenges began with Doohan. Oh no, did it begin with Doohan? No, it began with Rainey, ended with Doohan. Rainey's last pole, Doohan unsurpassed in qualifying. And nice to see the likes of McWilliams and McCoy as well in this, apart from champions like Roberts, Rossi, Creville, Doohan, Rainey, Swans, Gardner, Lawson as well, and Biaggi too. So, next up, the dawn of the MotoGP era we are in the early to mid thousands when Valentino Rossi was ruling the roost. Lots of good riders around back then as well, along with the likes of Ducati and Aprilia coming back in. Well, Aprilia kind of fading out, but Ducati coming back in with a vengeance, and the likes of Suzuki and Kawasaki coming in as well. The likes of Suzuki trying to recover as well, but beginning their slump as well at the beginning of the MotoGP era. So, thanks for watching. We'll find out what the dawn of the MotoGP holds for us next time.